We're gonna talk about strip clubs and times that we did drugs before we found Jesus. Oh,
Check, but I never could see a penalty. You say I'm having the Eddie really.
If they're gonna cancel me, they're gonna cancel me.
Wide awake, listening to the rebels creep, slithering into different amphetamines like a centipede. My theory is
I don't care. Go ahead, do it.
it.
Why are we gonna talk about it? You know why. This is the Randy Savagery Show.
Like a chick I never fuck, yeah, I promise I'll never give it up.
It's about the love. It's about the passion.
I might just get a buck. I'm trying to make it through life, but this shit is tough. Every day we meet a different.
and my aces, I'm gonna trace it.
Yo.
Oh, you can hear now?
What if I was like, yo, it's Charlamagne the God in the morning. What's up? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? If I was doing that.
Hey man, you already know you in the building with your boy Smalls. What you want to do? You want to freestyle real quick? Okay, shit. No, I'm trying.
Bro, have you ever seen Charlamagne?
No,
Like,
I mean I've seen him yet.
He's so annoying. Charlamagne's like that. He'll be like, so your mama left you and your daddy wasn't there because he was on crack.
Yeah.
Like that's
I think he's bold.
He's so bold.
I think sometimes he's a little bit too bold, but I think the show really wants that, and that's the reason why they keep him on. Because some things he says, and certain topics he gets on, you're like, damn, I can't believe he said that. But you look at the views it's really doing for that show, and you're like, okay, well, I see why they're keeping him on.
Yeah, talking to the mic, bro. Talking to the mic.
Oh yeah, but I can see why they're keeping him on. So.
Yeah, I mean, okay, but I'm just saying on the fact of like, it's not very genuine. It doesn't feel very genuine.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, some of his shit do seem genuine. I actually like some of the topics that Charlamagne actually talks about.
Oh, he talks about very intellect. What I'm saying is his style of attacking the person coming on for the shock value.
Yeah.
Well, first off, because you do it every time, I know it's not genuine. You know what I mean?
True.
And so that, and then the second part of that is like.
But is it really?
Very, like,
but I think they already know though, because isn't Charlamagne like?
Oh, you mean the person going on?
Yeah, because I mean they really know. They know Charlamagne's kind of a bold speaker. They know like most black people ain't afraid to say some shit, so they know that before they go on. And if they don't want to speak about it, usually they be like, they'll say something. I think most people know that, before they go on. He's just a bold, he's a bold speaker, so.
That's fair. You know what? That's something I didn't even piece through. They've all seen this show.
Yeah.
Even Kamala Harris, when she had a little freak out, she saw the show. With her Indian ass.
Well, she wanted to freak. Well, I mean, people know if they freak out and they get a shock value enough that there'll be, some revolt against it. And if someone's mad enough, angry enough, wants to shut you down enough, they know that this cancel culture or whatever could shut you down just like that. Even if they don't feel the words that they're spewing or whatever, they could just make that shock value so crazy on you, make the story so big on you that it's almost like the public just feed off that, So, but anyways, back to what you were saying.
Just Charlamagne's kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If he wanted to box for charity, I'd be down to box for charity. If Jake Paul wanted to put that together, I'm just saying I'd box him any day.
I heard somebody's trying to box him for free.
Who?
I don't know. I just was.
Free.
I don't know. I didn't do the research. Don't quote me on that. But
Free?
I read the little story real quick. I seen for free. I'm not really much of like, a boxing. Well, I don't really follow the YouTube boxing really that much. No, no shade on it. But yeah, I seen that. I was like, oh shit. Well, maybe the people want to see that. I don't know. Maybe this guy really thinks he about to, whoop his ass. I'm guessing. But if it's true,
Fight who? Which person?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't even know which person that you're saying was gonna fight?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. That's cool. Well, so why don't you introduce yourself to the people, to the listeners at home? Also, like talking to the mic. Use the mic. Utilize the mic. The mic.
So how you guys doing today? You already know I'm your boy Smalls. I came to do a podcast with Randy today, and we're gonna have a lot to discuss.
Yeah. Oh no, we ain't gonna hear this. Boom! The ad tried to hit us. You know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna get hit with those type of ads. But if you would like to shout out your business those are the type of ads I will allow on my show if you wanted to,
No.
or if you want to shout it out for her. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'll let her shout
I
it
don't know how
out.
that works.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? It's Honey J in the building, okay? AKA Honey Dip. I got an all-natural hair care line. I am loco in the Pontiac, Port Huron area and surrounding areas. It is an all-natural hair care line for more coarse hair. Wouldn't say my products aren't beneficial to more straight type hair, like type 3 hair, but it's for more coarse hair. We are doing good. We got a lot of events coming up. Check out my websites, honeydipllc.net. Check out my other social platforms, Honey Dip Natural Hair Care, and follow me, okay, for tips and something that may work for you. Yes.
Boom.
Okay.
Shakalaka.
So we can add effects too, like that.
For sure.
Why am I just dragging like that? Okay, let me get set back up.
Yeah.
Because these things are just made backwards, so you gotta play with them. Not like Michael Jackson, but kinda.
This way. You have to be this way. You want to be to the. That's how I centered it when I did it. So you don't want to move this because when I chose the camera position, you'll be out of frame and they'll be like, "Damn, this
I got
sucks."
it right here.
All
so
right.
you want me to? Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then just for because I can edit any of this, so it doesn't matter. But you should keep a hand on the mic because it's hard for you to your mind to think that you're talking into the mic.
I feel you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. So. Anyways, what kind of rap music you like? That's what you're into, right? Hip hop?
Yeah.
Pop.
I like a lot of hip hop music. I like jazz, but really, I'm into all different types of music. It's not like I have like a certain thing that I like. I like more singing, but yeah.
Songs type thing.
Not so much. If you really want to indulge on who I really listen to, I like I guess you could say like a John Legend. Or like Labyrinth, his voice is definitely something that's unique. So definitely something that I would, that I listen to at least, But yeah.
What about Frankie Ocean? You know Frank Ocean?
I know Frank Ocean, but it's a little before. It's a little before my time, I would think, for me. So I don't really partake in that.
All right. I just feel like he has a real interesting voice, I guess.
I think he does too, and I think if you're into that too, you're gonna be into that. I really think he's a talented artist as well. I just don't think it was, in my time frame, growing up for me, I had more different artists. I guess you could say so. But yeah, he's definitely a talented artist for sure.
Like The Weeknd, or who? What is?
I like The Weeknd for yeah. I like The Weeknd too.
Frame though. I think The Weeknd might be like only 2 years older than you.
No, I guess the time frame for me would be like, I guess you could say like a Beyonce, Nelly.
That's old.
Well,
2000s.
2000s.
Okay, so you just meant like
90s, 2000s.
for who you are, not like according to your age. I just want to make that clear.
No, for my age, 90s, 2000s. Yeah, I'm a 90s baby.
Yeah, but like for real, bro, like Beyonce, that's not your time. Like when you would have been able to go to like concerts and stuff. That's like when you were like 5, 6, 7.
But no. When I was 5, 6, 7, I was definitely listening to Jay-Z, Beyonce. I was listening to all different stuff like that.
That's why.
Alicia Keys.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's your older people's music, bro.
But for what you're talking about, that'd be for more of like an older crowd.
No, it's more important. What you listen to is what's important. But I was just clarifying for the people because at first it sounded like you're basically like, this. I'm that young generation, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Like as if you were gonna only.
No, I'm 24, so
Yeah,
I'm definitely not old, but I'm definitely not young. You know what I mean?
So young for Beyonce, and Jay-Z's like a 58-year-old man.
No, he's 90s. That's 90s. So
Yeah.
90s, 2000s.
It's like I think it would be your
early 2000s.
older siblings like music though, because like you said, you're listening to it when you're 6, 7.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was listening to, that was what I was listening to growing up. You know what I mean?
But like if you're 24, when you were like 19.
Jay-Z, Tupac. I grew up listening to that, I guess,
When you were 19, what year is that?
But then, I guess you could also say, because my mom, my mom's white, so I'm half black and white. I also grew up listening to like rock or soft rock as well. So, that's where I guess my music taste, you know, also transitions too. So
Yeah.
like, yeah. But keep going, keep going, keep going.
But when you were 19, do you know what year that was?
19. Let's see, I'm 24 right now. It was 2014, 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah. So what I was just saying for the people at home, because it seemed at first that the music type you were talking about was tied to your age group. When you were 19, like I think Ray Shroomer would probably be a hotter name at that time, like that Panda designer. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but I didn't grow up listening to those
I know,
guys,
bro.
you know?
I know. I just saying. I wanted to clarify.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
it is important. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What you was your? But it's just funny because that's like a little bit, like you know Destiny's Child, like TLC and shit like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
Like don't go chasing waterfalls.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old though.
It
That's
is,
old.
it is.
Yeah, I know that too from like my older sisters.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom. All right.
So you said your mother is white.
Yes.
All right. So you're a biracial person.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Tell us what was that like when you were younger? Like maybe around when you were 6, like we were just talking about. Do you remember?
Well, yeah, you know, when I was younger, I was always moving around a lot, you know. So different schools, especially for me, because I even moved different states when I was about 9 years old. So
I didn't know that was state.
I moved to New Mexico for about a year.
Really?
Yeah.
With your whole family?
Just my uncle.
Just your uncle?
Yeah, and they did not like me there.
How old were you?
I was about 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like start from your first move. Where was your first move?
I mean, fuck, I don't remember. I've been moving my
Or
entire life.
whatever you can remember, I guess. Like, is that it then, the New Mexico? Is that like the first one you really remember?
I mean, no, I've been moving, you know, from location to location my entire life. I mean, if you're asking me to remember every single one, yeah, I've moved all throughout Pontiac, you know.
When you were younger, you lived in Pontiac.
Yeah. You know?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They don't know. They
Oh,
don't know.
I get you.
So
I get
those
you.
details, like,
Yeah.
that kind of builds the character of, like, the picture of, I guess, what it's like being biracial.
True.
Especially
true.
because you said your mother is white, so your father is the African American.
Yeah, my father's black. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was the Pontiac living like when you were younger?
I mean, it was fights all the time. For the most part, it wasn't really, like, for me, it was a way of life. So getting in fights, you know, seeing people, you know, doing drugs, selling drugs, seeing people around you doing drugs, or, you know, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It was just a way of life. So, yeah, you see a lot of that stuff happening around you, but, you know, it's I definitely think, you know, it's you know, I grew a lot from that situation, you know, living there, you know, gave me a different outlook on life for sure.
Like, what did you grow from? Like, you're saying the negative parts?
No, there's positive stuff too.
No, I mean,
But fighting
right
for
there,
sure.
right there.
Yeah, I
That's
definitely
your-
learned how to fight.
Like,
you know?
out of adversity, you're saying it made you grow.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Made me grow a lot of different, you know, because a lot of people ain't afraid to talk too. So you got a lot of different minds. So it's actually cool because you really connect with a lot of different people out there, a lot of different minds, and a lot of people ain't afraid to tell you how it is or their thoughts on the subject. So that's the cool thing, you know, about you know, growing up in Pontiac.
Okay, so you think there is a very diverse crowd when it comes to thinking, and that was a
Yeah.
cool thing to pick up on.
Yeah. Whether
Okay.
it's, you know, whatever the topic is, not to say that it's all, you know, but yeah, whatever it is, there's always something to be said at least, you know, especially when you when you in your inner circle or whatever, you know.
I'm pretty sure that the statistics are, it's 80% of African American males that are, incarcerated. It's in the 90 percentile that their fathers were not in their life. So it's like a statistical, tragedy, I guess, of our country, right? That happens. Was your father in your life early growing up?
No. I mean, I guess when we was like real young, he was a little bit, but he wasn't really much of like a father figure. But after a little while, he split. He wasn't there for from the time I guess I would say from the time I was like 6 on. So, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
That's really early.
uh-huh.
6. I try to think about some memories that I have from when I was 6. Like I remember when I was 6, dude, I would eat rhubarb in like the backyard, and I remember one time
What? Say again?
rhubarb.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
plant.
yeah. My dad grew rhubarb in the backyard, right?
Uh-huh.
So I remember a distinct memory of chewing on rhubarb, climbing one of our trees back in the back,
Uh-huh.
and falling 2 branches and slamming my nuts. And I really didn't slam the testicles, I guess, but I scraped my
What kind of
sack.
tree was you climbing?
I don't even remember. I can't identify that part of them. But I just remember screaming. It was like the
Yeah.
first time I saw blood in my ball sack, like, because it was probably just a little.
Damn, you
scrape
hit
on it.
yourself good then.
Yeah, it scraped, like, ripped my pants, like.
Damn.
Yeah,
What did
yeah.
you hit on the way down? The tree or?
Just like 2 branches. Yeah,
Oh,
and then I
shit.
stopped on like a bigger branch at the bottom.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He says that like it's nothing, and I hit a bigger branch on the way down. But
Well-
it was all in the name of falling from a tree.
I could barely remember it, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like the pain part. But what I do remember is I remember like I remember my dad running out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because I was crying like a little baby,
Yeah.
And I remember him like kind of making a joke about it, you know what I'm saying? And like he's like, well, I'm not gonna kiss that boo boo, and like tickling my stomach, And I remember that type of joke, right?
Uh-huh.
And I just try to think like, I don't know how I would feel. I couldn't imagine if I didn't have my father at 6 years old. Like I couldn't imagine. I guess I'm saying like, if you were to walk out, you know what I mean? And I guess if you can, like, could you tell us like, how did you feel? How does that feel? Do you remember the feelings of whatever happened? I don't know how he left either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying like, what was that like?
Well, obviously no one really likes that. No one really likes the feeling that, because when you look at your mom, you see the struggle. Because my mom had 5, kids, so you see the struggle that's left on her. And my dad was also a drug user, so he did crack. I mean, he still does crack to this day. So,
3-base cocaine.
yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it took a long time, though, because for the longest time, I, hated him. I felt like I had to say something to him, or I was gonna give him a piece of my mind. But after a while, some things happened. He said some things to my mom and whatnot. It just began to fade. I didn't really care no more. Like to this day, it's like I don't really care. Like if he wants to come in my life, doesn't come in my life, doesn't see me, it just don't matter to me anymore. It could be a nod, it could be,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, like, all right, I got another little memory. I think I was like 5, right?
Okay.
Dude, I woke up one morning. I thought my sister was gonna be there, or like one of them. I got a whole bunch of them, right? No one was there, bro. Crying, you know the story, bro. Outside crying, so scared. I remember that fear, right? Like growing up early, the early part, growing up without your dad. Was there a fear response? Was there like, however he was gone, were you just like kind of like a little adult about it? Like, do you feel like that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, my parents got divorced when I was 8, and I was a little adult about it.
No,
I didn't cry. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
6, though, I was a lot more. So what was yours like?
Well, I was more of a rambunctious kid. My older brother was like more of like the person who wanted to be like the father figure, I guess, if you want to say that. But no, for me, I was rambunctious. I was one who always wanted to be outside doing some crazy shit, backflipping off houses or dirt biking or whatever it was. I didn't really want to be, because when I was a kid, actually, we didn't get to play outside a lot because my mom was always working. She had 5 kids, had to provide. So, a lot of times we was, at daycare centers or stuff like that. So, so we didn't get all that time, to really do stuff like kids. So any chance I got, I was always outside doing something. So
Okay. So you're saying you didn't pay it no mind. You continued with like the journey of being the rambunctious child you were.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Not rambunctious, but rambunctious.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, so on the latter part of that statistic that I brought up, like incarceration, right, for a lot of African American males.
I went to juvie for 3 years.
You did?
With 2.5.
Okay, so you've had run-ins with the law yourself. Okay. What happened? The juvie. I didn't even know that.
I mean, it was a little bit of like marijuana stuff, school incorrigibility. That was the main thing. That was school incorrigibility. I was never going to school and shit like that.
Oh.
So they put me.
So you're smoking pots and you're skipping class.
Yeah, and they put me in Children's Village for it. You gotta do a program too.
I mean, to me that doesn't seem too bad. That seems like something that a lot of kids probably do. Like,
well, the first place you go to when you go to a Children's Village, you go to this place called J Building. At least if you're in Oakland County. So when you go to J Building, it's because every building is labeled with an initial of what it is. The J Building is actually like jail, so it's similar to the OCJ. You get to sleep on a concrete slab. You get like a bed that's like this thick. You get a blanket. Well, they call it a blanket, but it's really a sheet. It's like one of those cotton knit sheet that your grandma would have knitted. That's like real thin, They give you that, and in the wintertime they give you 2 of those. But yeah, you spend most of your time there until you actually go out to your program, and that could be whenever, because if it's overfilled, they got too many people who haven't left, those buildings, and you just stay there. And yeah, you wear orange jumpsuit. You sleep in a locked room, a metal door and shit like that. So yeah, I spent like 6 months just at J Building, and then I finally went to my program. Messed up a little bit, so yeah, it ended up being 2.5 years total spent there. Because most of the programs are 8 months to a year that you're gonna be there anyways, and if you mess up, you gotta redo at least 3 months. So.
Yeah, I mean, to me the punishment sounds horrible. I meant the crime. The crime.
Oh, I know.
It kind of bad to me.
Yeah, I know. It kind of sounds
Smoking
ridiculous.
Weed and skipping class.
Yeah.
Rather than I'd say a lot of people that are in prison, they're a lot harsher crimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's all I was trying to say.
And then I got like a bunch of like marijuana charges and stuff like that.
I mean, marijuana is like legal basically.
Yeah.
Now, but you were a child.
Well,
right?
I also caught. Well, I mean, I had this. Okay, so my most recent one was. I got caught when I was like 19 years old. I had my med card, but I had a charge from back when I was so I had a charge from like a long back in like 2016, and they found some weed on me. So they went by the 2016 charge and charged me years later after weed was legal, after I had my license and everything, and they listed it on my record as a drug crime. So I have that on my record, even though I had my medical card. By the time they actually caught me for a warrant or whatever, I mean, I didn't even know. I was like, okay, cool. And then they pulled me over one day, like years later, and said, oh, yeah, you have a warrant, by the way.
But it's a misdemeanor?
Yeah, it was a misdemeanor. I just did, whatever. But still, it's like a drug, you don't want a drug crime listed on your record.
Actually, I don't think anyone could see that unless they were police.
Unless they were police or you're doing a job and they go
and pay. That's not public record, though. Only felonies are.
I'm pretty sure.
Especially.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
I'm pretty sure places of employment can see all that. I don't know.
Especially
I don't know.
Records I know are sealed, like even to.
That's not juvenile. That's not juvenile.
I know. I was just saying. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can't see someone's misdemeanors.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see all my felonies. I know they pop right up. All my mugs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're for life, dude.
Yeah. Well, I guess. But yeah.
That's funny. That's quite funny. It's interesting though because I grew up with my father.
Okay.
The
entire time.
The entire time, yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, the whole time he was there. But the funny thing is that I have a way worse criminal history than you. And it's just funny how statistics work, my mom is Dominican, my father is white, and it's interesting though because I chose harsher crimes, even though I didn't grow up in Pontiac. I grew up in the suburbs, but I don't even really have an ending to that. I just thought the parallel is interesting though because the statistics would show, the other way. Yeah. But also, it's like it shows you how I guess how powerful personal choice is over like statistics or environmental. Yeah. Like surroundings, probably,
Which actually, like like you mentioned, the suburbs and whatnot. Because by the time I was in, what was it, like 6th or 7th grade, like I think it was 6th grade, we moved to the suburbs because we was getting in so many fights and whatnot. My mom moved us down here, so I actually did get to see, the transition of like being in like a mostly, black school to going to like a mostly, white school, and it is a difference.
Did you finally feel free? Was it great? Were you like, I'm home, baby?
Hell no. Okay.
No, I don't know.
Well, when I first transitioned, like my grades wasn't too bad. Them boys went to all E's. For real shit. So the one thing I noticed is the curriculum. One thing I noticed, the curriculum is like way different. So like if they're teaching something like say if I went to like Walt Whitman or Lincoln or something like that, if they're teaching something in 7th grade, they would have been teaching that in like 5th grade. Yeah. Over at the Wild Lake schools or a suburban school, like if you're in Michigan,
Yeah, I noticed at Milford. I went to school at Milford that there's a lot of books that they made us read that I noticed a lot of kids are like, oh, they didn't make us read that.
Yeah, I know.
And I feel like that has to do. See, it's funny when you're in a school, you don't know that's how it works. You just think your school is school.
Yeah, until you grow up with both sides and you be like, damn, these motherfuckers is like. It's taken for granted only because they haven't seen the other side. So when you gotten to grow up seeing like what it could be, you're like, well, damn, nigga, I know you don't think it's a lot, but it could be less. You could be not being taught as much or, not being educated as far, which for me, I think is a horrible thing because I like knowledge. I think knowledge is power. So I would rather be taught more than to be, not taught,
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the majority of, I guess, the Pontiac school district children, but
I don't know because all the schools is closed down now. They gotta outsource for schools now. You gotta go to Auburn Hills.
Like every single school.
No, it's not even that. They just don't got the funding for it. So all the schools are shooting
down. Baby.
No, they're shutting down. So you either gotta go to like Auburn Hills, West Bloomfield, Waterford, Walled Lake.
What about Milford?
Or that's a little bit more of a stretch, but I guess you can go to Milford if you wanted to.
What a wonderful school.
And we're talking about Michigan, too, so like Milford, Michigan, Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh, Brother Rice, dude. Oh, I hear that's a great school. You remember them in high school or no?
Yeah.
They were like the best football
Where's
team.
that
They're
at?
the best football team ever. I think it's in West Bloomfield, bro.
Oh.
I think so. Because in Keego Harbor, it's in Keego Harbor, because that's where they do the state fair, and it's across the street from the school.
I try to stay away from Keego Harbor. They got a lot of police there.
They got so many police for such a little place.
Dude, I get pulled over all the time. You know what's crazy, though? We'll talk about that later. But the police, I like them, but I don't like all of them. I can tell by the way they walk up to me. So the moment they pull me over, the first 5 minutes, I can already tell how this interaction's going to be. I've had times cops told me that they were going to take my possessions because I wasn't allowed to have them, and I knew my rights. By the end of it, I got to take my stuff home, or they hold me up because, whatever, I've had, a lot of it, interactions that weren't the best, so.
Yeah, that's no good. Honestly, I cannot attest to that.
Really?
Every time I did super illegal stuff, they were pretty mad. Like, I was selling drugs, tons of drugs out of a suburban house. Fiends are getting sick. This is a horrible thing, And then, they were mad. They were pretty mad. He grabbed me by my beard and pulled it up, and it's quite aggressive of a narcotics agent. But every other time in my life, even I'll be texting and driving and been pulled over, swerving like a mug, bro. And then I just lied. I literally have just lied. I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said, I reached in the back to grab my phone for the GPS. Left it at that, I played that motherfucker like 4 times. Now, I don't know how you are with police though, but I'm like, oh, hello, sir. I present my hands palm up, which is like a psychological.
Well, that's what I do too, of course. But usually I try to have I try to tell them something sly. Or I try to have something to say beforehand.
You like, what up, Piggy? Or what do you mean? Like, how do you do it? Is that or no?
If they was pulling me over, if they was pulling me over for speeding, if they was pulling me over for speeding, I'd be like, I wasn't even meaning to be doing that. I just really had to use the bathroom. I just got off of work. a lot of places have been telling me that, you know, that they can't, you know, that they won't. See, I tell them something that's factual, because if you give them something that's factual with a white lie,
That's how you get it.
That's how you get it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I'm like, you know, a lot, you know. So then I tell them, I'm like, yeah. So every place has been telling me that they don't have a bathroom. So I've been, you know, really trying. I've been racing down, trying to find, you know, where's the next bathroom gonna be. A lot of times they'll be like, oh shit, this motherfucker's probably telling the truth.
Yeah.
And they let you go. So like, no, I'm not saying that's all the situations, but like just something like that is what I would say. But I'm trained to like I'm trained to always have that on my mind now. I can think of that so fast just by you asking me the question. You know?
You already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've just never had any real bad experiences, but I know a lot of people do, 100%. And just mine, it was always like, you know, they're like, oh, you're a heroin dealer, you know, and I was, you know. So it was like, and they weren't even that mean. Honestly, when the state police picked me up, I had 2 heroin distribution charges, and he literally said, I hate to do this, bud, but you got 2 felony warrants. He said, bud. They let me smoke a cigarette, like.
Well, that's cool, because a lot of times they don't let you smoke cigarettes. It depends on the officer.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I in my mind, I think that I just.
See, I've never gotten slammed by an officer though, but I've never put myself in a situation to. I mean, like I've been, you know, in raids and stuff like that, but I've never been like in a situation to where like me and an officer are having an altercation. I don't know. This don't happen.
I mean. I see the videos.
They be getting mad, but yeah, I feel like they might want to, but.
Have you ever ran from the police?
Yeah, but they've never caught me. Like when I was younger, I ran from the police a lot, but I've never been caught.
You got a decent jump shot?
Yeah, but I'm pretty fast though.
The speed.
What do you mean?
The speed. That's your thing. The speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I asked about the jump shot, and then you kind of jump. You're like the speed, bro.
Yeah.
I got these feet.
I've never been caught. Like if I actually ran, no, I've never been caught yet by a police officer. No.
That's good.
No.
I think I ran when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like when they
like teenagers.
For egging and doing wild breaking.
Well, egging, car hoppings, B&Es, all stuff like that.
I never did the car hopping. I never did the B&Es.
What?
Oh no, I was way too scared. Because my dad taught me if someone broke into a house that we don't know, he taught me to shoot them with his gun.
See, but when you were a teenager, or especially back then, a lot of people wasn't doing that, especially depending on what town you was in, because you know you could know what town you're in, and you can kind of gauge. Well, for me, I can gauge people and how the energy is, so I can gauge where I can go, where I can't, why and why those reasons are. You know what I mean? So. I haven't ran into like a whole lot of people's houses, but when I was younger, for sure. When I was young, dumb, hell yeah.
Did you stake out the house to make sure they weren't there or something? Like how did you?
No, I ran in people's houses when they was there. They were sleeping.
See, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That's insane. I'd be so scared.
You know, but it was so long ago now. Yeah.
Didn't you drop a new album or a new song or what was it? Because tell the people at home, let them know. Wasn't it something?
Well,
Tell me something.
I'm dropping a few things, but like a lot of my stuff that I'm actually working on is for purposes of stuff that I'm not yet gonna disclose because it hasn't yet landed or hit. So I definitely don't want to speak it. I definitely don't want to jinx it. So.
Oh, that's fair.
But I definitely do got a few songs coming out. But yeah, a lot of surprises, a lot of things that I'm gonna be telling you guys about, in the future. So yeah.
Well, where can the people find you online?
Well, you can look me up on the Smalls, or you can go to Dark Web Studios, YouTube. You can go to Facebook.
Just type you should. Is
Dark
it Smalls?
Yeah, SMAULZ. Dark Web. Yep, and then darkweb.com. Yeah.
All right.
Or you can go to Dark Web at Facebook.
Twitter, Instagram, what's your thing? So they know.
I don't do the Twitter and I don't really do the Instagram, but you could look me up on Instagram as Brendan, so as BRENDEN. So.
What about the ladies at home? Are you single? I'm sure they want to know the ladies. We have about 32% women listeners, so I want to grow that. So
I'm single, but I don't really be mingling. I'm working on myself. We're doing a lot of stuff, so
all right.
That don't leave me a lot of time, and I don't really want to. I'm not the type of person that want to give somebody some time that I don't have. So
Oh, well, that's respectable. That's respectable. I thought it was gonna end kind of sour, but you like really had that I don't have, and it was like real respectful at the end.
wow, hell yeah.
All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up. That's the end of the Randy Savagery Show. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Hell yeah, you already know.
Yep, and that's it. Boom,
I'm your boy Smalls.
boom, and that's it. Oh.